Hello my friends, welcome to another video. I'm Jeanette with Vivo Vintage Designs. Before we get started, I'll remind you that all the products used are listed in the description box just below the video. So take a look. If you have any questions regarding anything you see me use here, you can also drop it in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your interaction is a wonderful way to show your support for my channel. Okay, so I decided to do a couple of last minute gifts for my children and my loved ones. So I made these little ornaments using Sculpey air dry porcelain clay, and I tore the bag, so sorry about that, but it'll be in the description box. Now you can also use paper clay, but paper clay is a lot more fragile. This dries a little bit harder, and it'll last a lot longer, and you don't have to bake it or anything. You can just let it air dry. So what I did, I'm also going to put a string through these, and I just made them very simple, but they're really cute. This one's for my daughter, and I've got my son, my brother, my son's girlfriend, and I have a few other that are in the process of drying. So let's get to it. So you take out a piece of the clay, and I'm going to let you know, this is what it looks like. It comes wrapped in like cling wrap, and then it comes in that bag. You have to wrap this really, really well once you're done with it, and make sure that it doesn't dry out, because otherwise it'll be just a doorstop. It dries very hard. Okay. So I've pulled out a small piece, and I'm going to use a cookie cutter that I have in the shape of a heart. You can use any cookie cutter that you have, or you can even use a blade to cut out the shape that you like. So I'm going to use this to roll it out. If you don't have one of these, excuse me, you can use a rolling pin, you can use a can, a bottle, whatever you have available to you to roll it out. And I'm rolling mine out on wax paper, because I find that it's easier to remove once you're done, and you can move it a lot easier. If you just roll it out on the surface, it kind of sticks, and then you need one of these little blades to scoop it up, and you're better off doing it on wax paper so you can easily lift it from the paper. So my watch is getting caught. Okay, so roll it out to a thickness that you're happy with, and then use your cookie cutter to push down and remove the excess clay. You can save this. And now, oops, we're stuck here. Don't like to touch the top of it too much, because that's where I'll be doing my art. So I'm just going to tap it back down, and I use this little blade here. You can use anything, a credit card if you have one, to just push the sides in so that they turn out more even, because it gets kind of like a little frayed look on the ends. So I just tap it in, and now that's ready to dry. Now it does take a few days to dry. I'm doing it in my studio, and it's a little cold down here, but just let it dry. Make sure it's 100% dry. So I'm just going to move this out of the way. And now I'll show you, well, let me put this little piece of clay away. I wanted to show you real quick how I wrap up my clay so that it doesn't dry. It comes wrapped in this cling wrap, or plastic wrap, whatever you want to call it. And I'm just going to add that piece that I didn't use back in there, and then I'm going to wrap it up really well in the saran wrap, cling wrap, plastic wrap, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm going to wrap it again. And then I know I'm a little excessive, but I really enjoy using this stuff, so I want to make sure that it lasts. So then I have one Ziploc bag. And then I have another Ziploc bag. And that's how I store mine, so that it doesn't dry out. Okay, so now to paint this, I didn't use anything expensive. I have a bunch of craft paints. You can use whatever craft paints you have available. These are really inexpensive. You can find them at a dollar store or at Michael's, and they're usually about $2 at like Michael's, $2 or $3. So select whatever colors you like. I selected a cream color, and then I have this blue marker. I don't even know where I got this, but it matches what I wanted to do really well. So this one is going to be for my daughter's dogs, my grand puppies, and their names are Bo and Nezzy. So I'm just going to write their names on here. Hope that I spell it right. There you go, Bo and Nezzy. And then I used this really pretty blue color. It's called Primary Blue by Americana. And I have a really small paintbrush. And I'm just going to, I kept this really simple. I'm just going to draw some little branches with leaves, and you can use the pen if you want your branches to be nice and thin. You can use the paintbrush, or you can use the pen if you have one to draw the branches for your little leaves. So I just drew a couple of lines, and now I'm going to use this really small paintbrush to paint the leaves of my little branches here. So you can see, nothing fancy, really simple. Just a couple of strokes and you have a leaf. Doesn't take very much time. The hardest part is waiting for it to dry, because it does take a couple of days. And when this dries, you do have to paint it because it's kind of translucent when it dries. The paper clay dries like kind of like an off-white, but like I said, it's not really, it doesn't dry hard enough for, you know, so that they can keep this for the years to come. So I prefer to use the porcelain air dry clay. All right, so we're almost finished here. You can see it doesn't take a whole lot of time to paint these. I also did, this one here has roses on it, and this one is for my brother. Our mother's name was Rosa, so I always use roses in remembrance of our mother. So this one was special for my brother so that we could remember our mom, although how can we ever forget? Okay, so now I've done the little branches, and just to fill in the spaces in between, I'm just doing a couple of little dots, and I do them in groups of 3. So I'm just filling in any empty areas that I think need a little bit of something. You can connect the berries. I did that on some of them, like this one for my daughter. I drew little branches to connect the berries, but you can keep it as simple as you like. And then I wanted to do a border on it because I think it just made it, completed it. So I just took the tip of the brush and stroked along the edge, just a little line. And I think that that really brought it together. I think it gave it a finished look. So this whole project, like I said, the longest part of making these little ornaments is the drying of the clay. And then you want to add a few layers of whatever paint you choose. So that will take a little bit of time, but once all that is finished, the painting of them is the easy part, and for me, the fun part. And then once this is all dry, I used Kamar varnish to give it a quick light coat over the top to make sure that it didn't rub off, because this is inexpensive craft paint and I didn't want it to chip off or rub off. So I just sealed it with the Kamar varnish, and that worked really well. So there you go, my finished ornament for my grand puppies, Bo and Nezzy. So let me pick this up, see if I can do it without ruining it, and bring it up to you. You can see it didn't take very much time, and they're really cute keepsakes. And then what I did was I purchased just some twine. I think I bought this at Michael's, and it was $2.99. They had different colors. You can choose whatever you like. So this one is finished and dried. So I'm going to put my string through it. And if you find, oh, that's important. To create the opening, when the clay, let me show you, hold on a second. I forgot all about that. When your clay is wet, you want to, can't believe I forgot this. This is a stylus, and it has the little balls on the end, and you can use whatever you have. You can, anything that's round that can make a hole. So I just poked a hole through it and kind of spun it around to make sure that that opening, whoops, would be large enough for my string. And then you can put it aside to dry. That was really important. I'm glad I remembered. But you have to do that while the clay is wet. You can't do it once it's dry unless you use a drill. So, all right, back to this. I'm going to put my string through there. And I find that if you have a hard time, just twist it and then you can pull it through. So you can put beads on here if you like to. I wanted to keep it simple, so I'm just going to tie my first knot and pull that down to the bottom. Tighten it a little bit. And then I did another little knot on the top. Then you can trim it, and there you go. A cute little ornament to give as a gift. Like I said, you can use these as gift tags also, and you can write a little something on the back of them, love mom, whatever. They're easy to make, they're fun to make, and it's something that'll be around for a while. All right, everyone, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions about this process, please let me know in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I hope that you all have a wonderful holiday, and I will see you right after the holidays. Thanks for watching. Bye.